Hey guys, Joshua Gundam here with another Gundam MSIA review, and today I'm reviewing the version 2 ground type GM. This is a custom of mine, and it goes well with my ground type Gundam. The two are a little bit taller because the ground type Gundam was my first, and you can see that these joints stick up just a little bit, and with the ground type GM, apparently that didn't happen. So, just a better fit. Just did a better job on the ground type GM. Makes a big difference in height, just those little few centimeters. Kind of weird. But that makes me really happy, because when we take the ground type GM sniper, they're pretty much the same height. And that makes me very, very happy, because this guy's next. Me making a version 2 of him. Well, let's get to our review. First off, I don't have a regular ground type GM handy for display and comparison, but they're pretty much the same figure, only a different color. You can see that aesthetically they pretty much look the same, you know? Not a whole lot of difference. Looks like I need to replace that ammo clip there, but yeah, all the differences is pretty much just joints. So, let me show you. Nothing changed here, but I put in a Gundam version 2 knee joint. That required a bit of joint replacement. I took the hands from a Strike, well, no, not the hands, but the hand pegs from the Strike Gundam, and put those in, and I drilled holes into the hands so that we now have wrists, which is really cool. I made the left hand have a trigger finger, so we can hold any weapon that we want. We can dual wield like Kathy's GM in Gundam Father of Peace Episode 2 Part 2. This creates a lot of better posing. Really, really does. The shield, I decided on this one to remove the number. That way it's just a standard ground type GM, no number, just, you know, nameless grunt. And I should be able to, you know, switch this with a regular ground type GM in animation anytime I want, because it looks very close. Inside is a ball joint in the waist. That part is probably the trickiest part of the whole matter. It means cutting in kind of a open circle there, and it also means dremeling with a Dremel tool inside until you get a nice ball joint. This ball joint comes from the Dual Gundam. Now, on this one here, I used the Strike Gundam, and I had to use epoxy putty to fill up the inside of the leg so that it fit better. But it turns out that the Dual Gundam is a very good match for the legs. Who knew? If only the Dual Gundam was easier to get. Ugh. But, you know, I got one coming that just arrived today in a trade, and so our GM sniper should be able to work quite nicely with very little effort. The shoulders remain the same because the ground type, or the Gundam version 2 shoulders that have the joint in them are just too small to fit, and trying to make that work is just too much trouble. So the shoulders have stayed the same. The elbow joint comes from the Dual Gundam. The Dual Gundam and the Strike Gundam have different colored joints, so I pretty much had to make a decision there. You can see full elbow usage right there. Very, very handy. It retains the usual movement of the ground type GM. I could probably mod the shoulders, however, I like to have them swappable at times. Also, it makes good for battle damage and whatnot. But I have found a mod for the shoulders where you take a piece of plastic and you cut it and you just glue it along there, which is kind of difficult to do, and then the shoulders don't fall off anymore. I have a ground type Gundam somewhere in my collection like that. The head is very similar in design to the lower torso. You just cut outwards circle, you know, and that allows it a whole lot more range of movement. Remember that with your Gundams. You want somebody's head to have more movement, cut an outward circle of the plastic out. Don't interfere with the ball joint, but just give it some more room to move. A lot of the MSA can be easily improved with just a little bit of effort. This one took a little bit more effort, of course, but version 2 ground type GM! Woo! You know this should have existed. Come on! It totally should have existed. And like I said, when we compare the ground type GM with the ground type GM Sniper, it totally works. This ground type Gundam ended up a little bit taller, being the first, and his joints weren't embedded as deep, but it's a good match too. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the review. If you're looking for Gundam MSI action figures, make sure to check out our store, Gundams R Us, your favorite arms dealer. There's a link down below in the more info area. When you buy from us, it helps support our Gundam stop motion animations, which will definitely have these guys in it. Stay tuned for more. Catch you guys later.